And guess what? You start to not punt the ball again.
10. On first down, Lawrence running back. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Looking to throw on second down. Lawrence. This is White on the screen. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Throwing on 3rd and long. Lawrence. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
Well, they obviously red man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you
think.
mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. From the gun, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards up 1st and 2nd down.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This will be fielded at the 8. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field.
Personal foul.
I'm not sure what this is about.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They defer to White out of the shotgun. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. Olivier Vernon brings him down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters in normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation...
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Out is Carlson now for the Raider field goal. This will be from 49 yards out. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jonathan Allen able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
A 14-yard pickup. That's 14 yards on 2 straight plays.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
Okay, let's decide here. He was open, right? Not extraordinarily open, but open enough that if you're an NFL quarterback, you got to make that throw, right?
Yeah.
That's got to be complete.
9 times out of 10, that's a completed pass.
Yeah, he missed that one and missed it in a big way.
The Browns on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Working out of the gun. Mayfield out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read. Better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And now out comes Houston. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Now this one complete on the slant route. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down." They love being physical.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Now a give to White.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Being chased, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Larry Ogunjobi breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Here's Brett Kern now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense now.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jonathan Allen in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they... Stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Here's Ryan Allen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. A first update now out of Jacksonville. And the early going, it's the Texans out in front. Deshaun Watson with 1 touchdown pass thus far. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Ross. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Back to throw. Lawrence. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll begin at Everbank Field, an AFC South matchup pitting Houston against Jacksonville. And it's the Texans who are out in front. 2 touchdown passes there for Deshaun Watson. Next, we head north to Philly. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Chicago Bears. 35-3, the final score. Finally, let's get out to the Bay Area. See what's happening with the Raiders at home in Oakland. And they've got the lead over the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Derek Carr has a couple of touchdown passes there. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Well, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. Looking to throw. Lawrence. Man open left side is Brown. They'll get 7 out of it, but it brings up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards.
Watch tight. Tight ends right. Watch tight. Right. 3 down.
A first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going. Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Handoff comes to Chubb. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This time it's 3rd and 3. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Rashawn Gary with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Ryan Allen now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And now out comes Houston. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move, and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
As the offense comes out, we put our Madden spotlight on Baker Mayfield. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
Because they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Another nice gain. 13 yards that time and another 1st down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jarvis Landry, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
They run it again with Chubb. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. I guess that was a little better. He got back to the line of scrimmage there after the loss on first down, but now you're still dealing with a 3rd and long.
So let's put on our offense coordinator hat. They've been very aggressive against the run the last 2 plays. I'm thinking screen right here. Let him come get the quarterback and dump it off. And there could be some room to roam.
Now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 23. Caught left side. It's Beckham. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that's going to make it 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed a push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here with that type of a lead.
Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Trying to get it to Landry there. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step one. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. Throwing on first down, Lawrence. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for Browns TD. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling. Now go. For the extra point. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is now 24. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now out comes...
Ready? Mike 51.
1st and 10. Lawrence. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
53, Mike. That's the pass. Get it.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Back to throw. Lawrence. And that will be incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The 4th down pass play doesn't work out, and the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. A give. This is Chubb. Bringing him down defensively, Jayon Brown. Now here's a timeout coming on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They go play action. Mayfield. Open man is the tight end, Nick Boyle. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. A run for Nick Chubb. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead.
And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And this is picked up by the defense. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Looking to throw. Lawrence. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Ross. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go.
Ready. 60 out, more. Hard. Watch the
On 1st down, Lawrence. But it's caught on the right side at Smith. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for Cleveland, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.